LCK Power Rankings, where I go over the LCK teams 10 through 1 for Week 7. As we head into Week 7 on Wednesday, today being Tuesday. Today this video goes up Tuesday, Monday I'm recording it. I do this for all 4 major regions. The LPL came out earlier today, Monday, which would be yesterday for you. LEC comes out tomorrow, and LCS comes out Thursday. So let's get into it. 10th place, HLE, dropping 2 spots. So with the LCK, I had a lot of trouble doing these rankings, actually. Clearly, there's a top 3 teams. And I really had to look at the schedule to see how teams did last week to really determine the other 7. Because, no, HLE are not at a level of, maybe Nanshan, Youngshin, Red Force, or DK or whatever. But, HLE sometimes play okay. Last week, they lost to T1. Okay, losing to T1, when I go over this every week. When you lose to teams up here, no fault of your own, really. But losing to Sandbox, not good. Sandbox was 10th last week. Losing to them, not a good look. Now, 9th place, dropping 5 spots. As I write this, I think I'm dropping them too far. But dropping from 4th to 9th. Just to show you really how close the LCK is, 4 through 9. KT was up here last week, but like I said, and I've said the last couple weeks, it seems that whoever's in 4th ends up losing the next week. Like KT, KDF, DRX, Red Force, Fred at Breon, it doesn't matter. Whoever's 4th falls off. KT this past week lost to Fred at Breon and Kwangdong, and they lost in a fashion that wasn't close. Like, KT are really struggling. They're really struggling. They're having troubles. Rascal is not able to win them games, and it's just a mess. I really don't know what to think about KT right now. Sandbox moves up 1. They beat HLE. Sorry, actually, Sandbox moves up. Yeah, they move up 1. So, Sandbox beat HLE, so clearly you're above them. And they went 2-1 against Red Force. So they're playing okay. I am a little biased for Sandbox. I think they have a lot of good pieces around on the young team that can get better over time. But maybe that's why I kind of punish KT a bit, because KT, they don't know what jungler they want to use. Arya has not been really that great this year. I feel like earlier in the year I said I didn't say a lot of bad things about Arya. I just said Arya wasn't really showing up, and he isn't showing up now. 7th place, Fred at Breon, moving up 3 spots. So, it's becoming more and more clear that Fred at Breon if they keep Morgan in top lane, I was on the sword train when they signed him, put Morgan back up there, give him skill. He is doing very well on the Akali and the Gwen and skilled champions, not tanks. They have to figure out how to do that better and utilize it more, and maybe they can sneak up here. It won them last week against KT, and they lost 2-1, I think, to DRX when they lost to DRX. So, Fred at Breon, they're capable of being good enough to compete with anybody. May not win, but the way they play, they can beat anybody. That slow, dragged-out style, and I think that with Morgan, it gives them a little pizzazz that they didn't have before. Dropping 1 spot is Red Force. So this week I realized maybe I've been too high on Red Force for a while. Their record stinks. The record was awful. And I had them 5th. But then I thought to myself, well, they had a long period where they didn't have their starting lineup. And they still really don't have their starting lineup. And when you think about it, they were able to beat Sandbox 3 games. And they lost to Gen G. Losing to Gen G, no fault of your own. Gen G are really good. Gen G are back to 100%. Losing to Gen G and T1, I think, are really not that big of a deal. Depends on in the manner in which you lose. I think Red Force Ghost did really, really well this past weekend against Sandbox. So if Ghost can keep that up, they will be a team in the top 6. Ghost is what's been holding them back. So 5th place, KDF moving up 2 spots. Just to kind of give you an idea, KDF were 10th a couple weeks ago, but they're playing really well right now. As KT goes down, KDF goes up. They beat KT. Speaking of KT, and lost to Damwon. They're looking okay. We'll see how they do going forward. Right now, they look okay. Look like they're figuring it out. We'll see if they can improve. I don't really have a lot to say about them. They started moving away from Keen a bit, and it's helping them out. Dispersing gold. 4th place, DRX, moving up 2 spots. DRX gets their turn in 4th. Once again. So DRX beat Fred at Breon, lose to Gen G. Whatever. Pioshik's looking a lot better. Even in their losses, he was looking better this past weekend against Gen G. So if Pioshik can get on board, DRX can be a lot better. Deft and Barrel in the bot lane, I think. Deft and Barrel? I believe so, yes. So they should be set going forward. I think that they're okay. I think that they have they have the ability to stay here. Kingen looked good in their games against Fred at Breon. Hopefully that can continue. The final 3 spots, nobody moved, so I'm just going to go over this kind of in its own way. Spoiler alert, I'm going to write all 3 down at once. So, wrote all 3 down at once because there's no movement. So, Damwon goes 1-1. Beat them, that's a good win because they're coming up, they're hot, and you are struggling, and they are still struggling a bit, and they lost to them in the manner in which they did, not very great. These guys beat Red Force and DRX. Gen G are back on the right track. They're looking very clean. They're looking very good. Chovy wasn't even that big of a player in their series against DRX, and it wasn't even close. As far as T1 are concerned, T1 are just winning. They're just winning, and the only team I think that can beat them is this one. So this is the matchup we want to see. This here is clearly the top 2 teams. And then after it, it is literally a mess. I don't have another tier for this. I think it's T1, Gen G, and the rest. Damwon should be. They should be above the rest of these guys, but they simply are not playing that way. They've not played that way all spring long. And then people say, well, in spring in 2020 they stunk and then they won Worlds. Okay, well, that doesn't change the fact that they stink right now, and I'm going to say they stink because that's what they're doing. They stink. I can't just say for 3 months, oh, well, they stink, but we're going to leave them first place. No, that's not how it works. So, Damwon struggle streak. And I overlooked this about HLE. I thought about it in here. HLE have like 3 new players on their roster right now, or at least a new bot lane, and it looked good against T1. I forgot I wanted to talk about this. I remember thinking about it over the weekend. So Bout looked super good on the Blitzcrank. He looked good in both games. I think that HLE now have a potential to start taking some games off of these teams with their new bot lane. There's not a lot of time left. We'll see, I don't think that they can make the playoffs, but I want to see some improvement going into spring, playoffs and when they can't be in it, but at least in the off season and then going into summer, maybe they can be a better team and they have a better idea of who they want to go with going forward in the bot lane. But I think HLE are going to look a little bit better. Not to circle back on the 10th team, but the fact is, I think that really this is a mess, and even these guys are a mess. It's just clearly T1 and Gen G are at a whole nother level of League of Legends right now. But thank you for watching this video where I covered the LCK and my Week 7 power rankings. Stay tuned, like I said. Tomorrow, LEC come out, LCS come out Thursday, LPL came out Monday. If you want to see the other regions and get kind of an update on how things are going. So, like, comment, subscribe. Like, most importantly, if you want to comment below if you have any opinions. If you think it's clearly a gap here, if you can figure out why Damwon are struggling, I think they have issues. I think the support role is an issue, and I think top is an issue with Damwon. But like I said, thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned for more content.